Dallas Mavericks right there.
When we're talking about untouchable, you think of that man on the left side of our screen there, LeBron James. There is up and rumors about him being traded. Of course, there were reports earlier of LeBron James not wanting to be wanted by any teams because of how much it would cost. I mean, like a 40-year-old player with probably a year left, maybe 2 at max. That's not something you want to risk your future on at all. I'm not just talking about a 35-year-old LeBron James who maybe plays another 3, 4, 5 years. I'm talking about a 40-year-old LeBron James who might retire this season. You don't know. So, and you don't want. He's already on a $53 million contract.
It's also all about the win now mentality. So if you sign him, that's a
yes. LeBron is very adamant on I want to win right now. So teams
he has to win right now. He doesn't have the years to build a team up.
I was about to say, like,
unless you just want to retire.
Every run since that fourth championship, every single run he has had has been, for him, in his mind, legacy defining. Because the final years of these guys' career, like if we look at the final years of Michael's career, it was not pretty. The final years of Kobe's career, it definitely was not pretty. Like, LeBron is managing to, in some cases, sneak his way into the playoffs in his final years. If he can win a championship in the final years of his career, that will say a lot about where his legacy lies if he's able to walk out on a championship, which we all know he wants to do. Whether or not he says it publicly, he wants to walk out on a championship.
Of course,
on that same note, though, he comes out and says that he doesn't look at rings as important. So
what I say to that is, okay, and I'm gonna just say it because like I love LeBron probably more than everybody else in here. LeBron be full of shit sometimes.
No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you do not. Don't ever say that again. No, you don't. Hey, you do not love my king like I love my king.
Hey, look.
No, you do not.
Y'all know LeBron James lying though. Like, let's be real. He does not like how ring culture affects certain players because, like, when you look at players who are like, he doesn't
like AI who doesn't have any rings.
I was about to say, like, he doesn't like the talks about like AI just because AI don't got rings and Robert Horry got rings. He don't like that.
To a degree. So, what LeBron said is true to a degree.
Yeah.
However, let's be honest. We know the reason it got brought up. It can be right. It can be right, but like we know, I think Bron's the greatest player of all time.
Yeah.
But we know why LeBron James brought that up. It was because he wanted to
6 is more than 4.
Yeah. He wanted to put more emphasis on the fact that, hey, I know I got 4 rings, but look at my trials and tribulations.
Yeah.
Like,
look at my
there's nothing wrong with that necessarily.
Like, y'all remember when he was going on Pat McAfee and he started saying the same thing that people have been saying on Twitter for years, where he was talking about, man, how do we even get to the finals?
Exactly.
Like he has now that he's at the tail end of his career, now he's doing the damage control that people have been saying he's been doing. Now he's doing it where he's like, how like he's trying to boost up, like, hey, I took this team to the finals and we don't got nobody. Like
from a personality perspective. Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
I think I got a hot take about the NBA right now, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. So like, I'm a little older, so I've watched a lot of the older stuff, but I feel like today's playoffs, even like the first round playoffs, are like older generation's finals. If you look at the level of talent that's there in like the early rounds,
I agree.
Teams now are so much more elevated. So like LeBron does kind of have a point, but when you look at like the playoff brackets now, the first round now could even be considered a finals game back in like the 80s or 70s, like with the level of talent that goes in there. Yeah. So like to discredit LeBron not getting these finals runs because of that. I mean, I'm not saying he had bums on his team, but the level of talent and the level of the game, the way it's played now, is so vastly different than it was back then. That is no comparison.
I also
let's talk about the NFL. With I know that an unpopular team right now is the Pittsburgh Steelers, but they seem like they're in very much down mode. They're giving Rodgers his farewell tour. I'm an Aaron Rodgers fan, so I'm all for it. But what do you guys think about these moves with Jalen Ramsey coming over? And
can I say something? Can I say something?
Yeah.
Jalen Ramsey is washed.
That's not crazy. That isn't crazy.
It's not crazy, but I feel like getting Jalen Ramsey for Minkah Fitzpatrick is still a great deal for them.
But don't count out Aaron Rodgers. Let's see what Rodgers.
I mean, but real talk though, this team, bro, this team might not make the playoffs. I'm being so for real.
I'm gonna be real with y'all. Like, I love A-Rod, like I do, but I really do feel like whether it's like the antics that he brings to a team, or it's just like his performance, like I really don't think that Aaron Rodgers is in a state where he can make a team a contender anymore, like, and that's no disrespect to Aaron Rodgers, because he's a legend. Like, he's a Hall of Famer. There's no doubt in my mind about that. But it's not a Tom Brady situation where you're 40 years old and you can still take a team to the Super Bowl. Like, he can't.
If you look at Rodgers' stats last season, though, he had similar stats to the top QBs in the league at the worst organization. So it's hard to say anything bad about him whenever he had almost less interceptions than your best quarterback and the same amount of touchdowns. If you take Rodgers right now and take his QBR, he has the highest QBR ever recorded in NFL history at 102.6. So for people to have this narrative that he's not the same guy anymore, I mean, he played one snap, his leg fell off, and then he missed a year, and then he comes back with virtually no experience with this team other than practice, and still was competitive to a certain point. I mean, we're not talking about Tom Brady, who has everything worked around him to make it work for him. You're looking at a Jets team that was arguably the worst Oregon. When's the last time the Jets were even competitive? And then you throw Aaron Rodgers on the team with some young talent, and there's mix-ups. And now here he is going to the Steelers, who, since under Tomlin, has never had a losing record. He's a player-first coach. Like, you got to think everything's lining up. Yeah. Rodgers still has gas in the tank.
I do have a question about Mike after you're finished, by the way.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
So I just got, and this is really for everybody too. So do y'all feel like Mike Tomlin's winning, like never having a losing season, like, do you think that warrants him still being there? And like, while I get it, having a long tenured coach is great, and like, not having a losing season is also great, but it's like it gets to a point where it's like when you keep like skating by the skin of your teeth and then you don't breathe.
I have the perfect analogy for Tomlin for you.
Yeah,
I have the perfect thing for it. So I live in Kentucky, and I'm a massive Kentucky fan. We had Calipari here at Kentucky for ever. He was a fantastic coach, and he won a championship. The parallels are there. They did these great things in a great org, but after a certain while, just having winning seasons, we don't hang banners in the rafters for having winning seasons.
That's my point.
You got to bring something to us. So, like, I definitely agree with you. I think this season, I'm not saying this is a must-win Super Bowl situation for him because of what he's been given and what's going on.
He's got to do something, though. Like,
I mean, I think playoffs. If they don't make the playoffs, I definitely think he'll be in the hot seat next season, and then we're going to start really seeing, because this is Rodgers' last season, so they're going to be looking at building. So after the season, they're going to rebuild. So it's like a lot of pressures on this season, of course, but I don't think if he has a losing season that he'll get fired. But if he doesn't make the playoffs, there's definitely the fire will be on immediately as soon as the offseason gets here for something.